Saturday, October 7th. We have been waiting for the dew to dry up a little bit. Scott's removing the little straps that we use to anchor these guys down. These last few panels here, last 7. We have not been able to get up here all week. We thought yesterday after work we were gonna get up here, and I came out of school and it was raining. Like, I just could not believe it. Could not even believe it. So sometimes you just have to throw up the white flag. I surrender. So right now we have clear skies, and we should have this for the rest of the day. By hook or by crook, we are getting these guys on here, and then we're going to move down and do the Arctic entry and get the flashing completed. So enough messing around, I'm going to get up there. I'm just getting it lightly tapped down and into place. You ready to start screwing in down there?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. So Scott's screwing that down. We've got to get our little system back into place here. So I'm prepping the next panel. We're removing this plastic coating that's protecting the top rib here. So I'm going to peel that down, and then if you notice, one problem is that these slots aren't punched out all the way, and so what I'm going along doing is counting, like they have to be placed, the screws are being placed every third or every fourth one, so 1, 2, 3. So I've got to count down and make sure that all of those are punched out, so I'm doing that with the screwdriver, and then once I get to the bottom, then we're ready. We'll get the panel in place, and then we'll start the system all over again. So we're going to just get rolling with that. One thing I want to say, right now it's about 45 degrees, and it's warm enough where we're able to stand on the metal panels. Like I want to say that it's so important to wear sticky shoes. Scott has his sole shoes on. I have mine on even though my feet get cold, and I had to put an extra thick pair of socks on rather than wearing my boots, but that's why we were waiting for it to warm up a bit as the temperatures are dropping around. So
I highly recommend what's called a duck boot or duck shoes.
Yeah.
They're soft rubber bottom. Back in the day, that's what most of the roofers I knew would use. Whenever I was roofing, I would borrow my dad's. We have the same feet, same build. They're amazing. These Morels are very soft rubber, so these are extremely good. But I don't like a tread. You'd want something that is smooth surface, flat.
We're getting to the point now where it's important, because we're going to have to stand on it. Up until this point, we've been able just to stand on the felt, and that's been, nice and grippy. So now it's getting a little tricky. So we're just going to finish up these last few panels here on the end. It took us about an hour and a half to install the last 7 panels, and we now need to cut the last one over here because it's hanging over the edge, just a shade there. And we're going to cut that off and bend a little bit of the metal up. And this is the Gable piece. There's a different style that's used for roofs that are 40 feet or longer. So it has this like a little piece that's bent up here. So what we are looking at online, they have well, I don't have a smartphone, so I had to print these out. So they have great installation instructions. So we're using this piece with the smaller one, not the larger one that comes over, like the traditional ones that get screwed down. So our piece is not going to be screwed to the top. And so right now we're going to have to cut the end off and get this in place. So we were just reviewing the installation instructions, And let me show you how much we need to cut off. So this is about how much is left over, and we want to cut off, what do we need to leave, about a 1/2 inch to bend up? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, it's the panel's going to be about a 1/4 inch inside the roof, and then the gable will come over it, and we'll caulk it.
Yeah.
And then it'll get screwed right to the side here on the trim.
Okay, so we're going to get cutting that, and probably won't be able to film it, but because I need to help. Thank you, Bob. But we are going to get up there and trim that piece off. Our friend loaned us the metal shears, so electric shears, so we can just hopefully zip that right off there. And are we ready to go? Let's go for it.
Inch, roughly.
Yeah.
You just kind of get it right there. And bend. Work your way back up like that.
Okay.
Bend. 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 Like so.
Okay, so Scott notched a piece of wood to give us something to use to bend this end up. So we're gonna go all the way along here and bend it up so we have that little piece to put that gable flashing over. We got the end bent up, and then we took our sample piece of flashing and hung it over the edge, and what we found is that there's some spots where it was a little too high, so we're having to trim that down. And then the other problem, I'll just hold the camera over the edge here so you can see that the flashing was not coming down far enough, because we need this fascia piece to go on here, and the metal has to come down over it. So what we're having to do is to take the trim board off, move that up, and get that into position, because we're not going to have enough space. So we're having to make a few adjustments here. We are really liking the look of this weathered copper, and we are very thankful that it still has not rained so far. It's taking us quite a bit longer to get these gable pieces installed. We had to bend up that part. We got that done. So now we're working on actually installing the pieces down here. So this is a sample one we were using to make sure that the sizing was correct. But we've got to take it down because we're kind of pre-tapping the holes. And oops, let's see here. Scott has the holes pre-tapped, and he's just getting the fasteners now so we can get that into place. We ran a generous bead of caulk down the channel part there, so that is ready to roll, and we're going to go pre-tap these. So we just measured 24 inches, and I just put a little black dot there so that Scott knows where to just tap those out, and then it'll be easier for screwing it in up there. So we have, Jackie's helping us here. We have to peel the plastic off of these flashing pieces. It's great the way they package that, because it's protecting them from getting scraped. So she's going to prep that part so we get a little assembly line going here. All right, we have the gable flashing installed all the way up to the top, and it's getting to the point. We had to kind of bend that little piece in. It's hard to see. I'm not getting back up there because Scott says it's getting slippery, and he's getting down right now. So no more of that. We unfortunately were not able to get this piece. We wanted to get that apex flashing on, but that's going to be another day. So we're going to switch over to the Arctic entry and get the panels done up there, because walking on the tar paper is not slippery. So we were going to get on the Arctic entry and finish that, but then we noticed that this piece, there's a piece missing here to be able to tack the trim board to. Needs to go up there. So now we're having to fill that in, and we see nothing but gray clouds. Oh, this is like not good at all. Well, I was hoping to be able to say that we have finished all the metal on the roof, but that is not happening because it is raining again. We just can't catch a break. Cannot catch a break. We finally got on the Arctic entry roof, and yeah, honey, yeah.
I want to see the shelter.
Okay, yeah, I'll come out there in a minute. Let me just update on the video. They've got a fire going out there, but anyway, we got on the Arctic entry finally, and we got the eave flashing up, and we were cruising along, and all of a sudden, wham, just started coming down. And I'm trying to push through it. I'm like, okay, we can do it, just get these panels on there. And now I'm soaking wet, and I don't know, that didn't accomplish anything other than making me mad and getting me wet and not getting the panels done. So we just have to quit. It just gets to the point. You know, somebody said to me recently, why don't you just pay somebody to put the metal on your roof? You know, what's the problem? I'm like, well, I mean, we're okay doing it. We're fine doing it. We really, once we get up there, we're okay. But, you know, we really don't have like $6,000 in the budget. And those were the bids, you know, over $6,000 to put metal on your roof. So, you know, when you're trying to save money and do it yourself, like, yeah, it's going to take longer. And of course, I mean, we just don't want to be up there in the rain. It's just not safe. So anyway, okay. Sunday morning. There's an eagle hanging out by his nest there. I love fall. I usually really enjoy this time of year. When I look at the mountains and I see the snow coming down so far like that, right now I have a different opinion because I'm trying to build a house. So I just had to go into town, get a little bit of gas in the car. We have to head to Anchorage. We need to return the truck and gooseneck trailer to Scott's dad. His dad is so generous loaning us his equipment, so we got to get that back to him today. Looks like the rain has cleared out a bit, and hopefully we'll get home in time. We can actually get back on the roof. If that doesn't happen, it's going to happen tomorrow. See how far down that snow has come. Every time it rains down here, it's snowing up there, and it's getting closer to us. So we're just going to have to keep plugging away. We have to keep plugging away, and this is the mountain that's up behind our place. So it's coming down, it's creeping down. We're just got to get at it. So off to Anchorage. On the highway to Anchorage, we're just stopping to check the load, make sure everything's okay there. It's been sprinkling most of the way. Nice drive, nice fall colors, and enjoying that. But we've got another over an hour to go. Scott's saying get back in the car. So we are gathering free materials on the way back from Anchorage. You got some small ones. Those are good, like for smaller gaps.
Yeah.
We're thinking ahead. We need to gather some rocks for behind the wood burning stove. What we're doing, so we basically just dropped the truck off, did a quick Costco run, and we're on our way back. We're still about an hour from home, but there's this little spot here off the side of the road, and basically, you know, the rocks are just falling off there, and we're looking for pieces that are how thick, honey? Just like not more than an inch
thick, you know.
Yeah.
Just you know. Yeah, if it gets too thick, it makes it a little difficult to hang them.
Yeah, so anyway, we got to gather some before the snow covers it up, and then we can at least go up far enough behind the wood stove. And hey, Imogene, let's get going. No, you, come on,
we're leaving. Back
in the car, let's go.
Right.
Heading home. Well, it's 5 o'clock, we're just getting back from Anchorage, and there is, haha, blue skies. So we are not hesitating to get on the roof, and Scott's just putting this little tiny piece. We had just a small, oh, that's like barely a foot left on the end, finishing that piece for the eaves. And then again, we had to kind of fold in, kind of cut and fold in that piece there. So we're gonna get up there, get the panels going. we are feeling good now. We have all of these panels installed. Scott's screwing down that last one, and then we need to take a measurement to cut the one that's going to go up against that wall. I'm not sure if we're going to actually get that sidewall flashing and the apex flashing in, because it's starting to get slippery on here already. So that temperature change just changes everything up here. Okay, so it's 6:15. We just finished putting that last little strip close to the wall into place over there. We cut it, we took the panel down off of there and cut it, and Scott just popped it into place, and this is way too slippery. So the temperature is dropping rapidly right now, so too slippery to be up there. We'll have to finish the gable and the apex flashings. Hopefully tomorrow it's supposed to be clear. We shall see. So Scott was just attaching, we're just using this chalk line here as a plumb line, because we don't have a plumb line, so we're getting creative. And he just set a screw up there and dropped that down so that we can see exactly the center of where that stovepipe needs to go. And then we're going to take some measurements from the wall to make sure that the clearance is okay. Well, we need to make some decisions about where the stove is going to be placed. Do you want to explain what's going on here? What the dilemma is?
Basically, I'm in between the BCIs right now.
Okay.
And
This is
we
where
feel
we're at.
that the fireplace is too far out in the living room with it this way. And then, and if we go in another BCI, we can't turn it facing this way, because I mean basically the corner would be actually past the wall here. So if we came in another BCI, we'd have to turn the fireplace sideways, which kind of destroys the ambiance of being in the middle of your living room on a couch looking at your fireplace.
Yeah.
So facing a bit of a dilemma. Anybody has any suggestions how we can solve this? We're going to post this video quickly
tonight.
to get some people's advice, because we can't.
We're trying right now. The plumb line is right in the center between these two BCIs here. And the problem is that we wanted it to be over here, but you can't, because it pushes the stove too close. It has to have, what, an 8-inch minimum?
Well, this corner needs to
clearance?
be a minimum of 8 inches according to the
Code specs or whatever, yeah.
So we're looking at, I mean, I could go a little closer to this BCI and bring this thing about this far, but that's still sticking way out.
No, it's still,
You know, I don't see any other, personally, I don't see any way other than to turn this thing this way, go in between this BCI to get it closer to the wall and further out of the living room. But
I know, but if we turn it that way, the living room is like, the space in the living room is all out here. I just wanted it facing kind of an diagonal, like at an angle like that. So, and we really don't want to go out the wall. We did not plan. I mean, we did not plan going out the wall. I don't know. I don't really know that that's really an option right now.
Well, that doesn't change. That's really, that's the only other option that I can think of to bring this thing further in here, is go up and then out.
Then we've got to drill a very massive hole
through the
concrete, and that's not what we intended on doing.
Well, that would actually be more than a drilling job. It'd be,
oh God.
It'd be jackhammering it out.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, this is like one of the next projects. We're going to try to get this thing installed, so once we get the visqueen on the windows, we can start heating things up in here. The temperatures are dropping rapidly, and it's supposed to stay clear tomorrow, dear?
Yes. Next 3 or 4 days. Maybe.
Okay, so.
But clear means cold, so.
Clear is cold, but clear means no rain. So hopefully that'll stick so that we can get back on the roof and finish the flashing up there. So anyway, yeah, if anybody has any suggestions about this, please let us know.